The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Hello and welcome to the show. It is Tuesday, live in Frisco, the SWBC Mortgage Living Room. Hanging with the Boys, proudly brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, Nate Newton, Shannon Gross, and we have one more day till we look forward to this next game. So many things we weren't able to get to yesterday. So many things to talk about. First off, how you guys doing today? How y'all feeling?
Oh, great, man.
Wow,
man, great game. You know, I was so glad the Rams dominated the Bears, so we can say, okay, at least we held them up down to 20 points. Our defense. Looking for that silver lining, Kurt.
Yeah, you're stretching, man. I like it.
How you feeling, Kurt? Got your Navy polo on today, I see. Back in step. Jesse's got the North Carolina blue repping.
Let's go.
Yeah. Nate, you got your nice blue shirt on. We all got shades of blue on. I guess we got the blues this week.
No. Mine's a lighter blue. Jesse's no. Don't say that about me, dog.
I'm Carolina blue, baby.
I'm good. I'm sky blue, baby. I'm good. See, I told you yesterday, Shannon. I'm already there. Where you tried to get to, I'm already there, bro.
Oh, so you saying you already in Mexico?
No. I said I'm all. I ain't never going to Mexico.
I misinterpret.
I ain't never going to Mexico. Mexico ain't good for a fat man.
I didn't mean to put words in your mouth.
Mexico ain't good for a fat man. If he was going to the Bahamas or somewhere like that, I may be going with them, man.
Yeah.
Kurt, so many things we didn't get to yesterday. So many things that are going on. So many comments. So many rumors. Just so much stuff. Where do you want to start?
Well, I don't know. I wanted to maybe get some of your guys' thoughts. I guess one of the hot topics this morning was Jerry's interview on The Fan. And he got a little testy. I don't know. I didn't hear it live. I heard some of the highlights later. But, Jesse, you were listening live, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
What happened, brother Jess?
No, y'all not going to do this to me. No, this is what y'all not going to do. This is what y'all
are
not going to do this. I will not allow y'all to do this to me today, okay? Jerry is already testy, okay? You guys know I can sometimes say things that will get my $10 revoked, and he's probably listening, so I'm not going to let you guys send me down this road, okay?
Well, give us the outskirts of it. Give us the outskirts.
I've been in meetings all morning. I just need the Cliff Notes first. You don't have to give any commentary. Just tell us what happened.
Right. No, it was just basically asking Jerry, about is this team void of any leadership? And that means from any front. And as Jerry was trying to explain it, I'm going to be honest with you. Jerry was doing what Jerry does, and he was talking in circles. He was saying a bunch of words and not saying anything at all. And in the process of this, where we knew that he knew that what he was saying made absolutely no sense. And he was just trying to put a bunch of words together to say that I kind of gave you an answer. And in between there, Sean kind of cut him off a little bit to kind of interject. And, Jerry got a little testy and told him, hey, how about you just shut up and let me answer the question? And, it went from there. But I think here's where we're at right now. We're in a place with this football team, and I mean from top to bottom. This boat... When you come into a football season, okay? No.
Take your time.
When you come into a football season, right? I'm going to use a ship's SHIPS.
Yeah, be careful.
I'm going to use a Jerry-sized yacht to give this illustration. Okay. When you come into a football season, right? Everybody has to board and be paddling this yacht in the same direction. The same direction means through September, October, November, December, headed to wherever the Super Bowl destination is in that year. This year it happens to be Tampa. Now, during this voyage on this yacht, on this boat, there are times where your boat, and not times, there are always going to be moments in this journey where there's holes in your boat. And water begins to come into your boat. Now, the good teams, those who have great leadership, great ownership, great coaching, great players, they're able to get the water out of the boat, patch up the holes, and keep their journey moving to their destination.
Right.
The bad teams, when the water begins to come in, they panic. They don't have good leadership, whether it's in front office, coaching, or good leadership, players, whatever. And now the water begins to come in. And then there's another hole. And then before you know it, there is a multitude of holes in this boat. And nobody's able to get the water out fast enough before this boat gets to sink. And you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, sinking fast, and no one has answers. And I think this is where the Cowboys are at today. Their boat is sinking. So the water has come in. There are so many holes on this boat, on this Jerry-sized yacht. There's so many holes. And as Mike McCarthy, or you can say / Jerry / Mike / T, whoever you want to call it, that front office / head coaching, right? The thing that they say that the captain must go down with the ship.
Yes.
Right? So while people are now trying to jump ship, well, it wasn't me, it was them. Well, it wasn't us, it was them. Well, they can't follow directions. Well, they can't coach. See, now everybody's looking for the life raft. Everybody looking for that little boat, the little life raft to save themselves, self-preservation. As this boat is beginning to sinking, no one now is shedding water from this boat. No one is now patching up these holes. Everyone now is in extreme self-preservation. And now you have a head coach who's entered into this situation and not knowing the magnitude of this yacht that he was on. And he's looking around and he's trying to stay tight. But everything around him is so chaotic. The boat is chaotic. And everyone's frustrated. This boat is sinking fast. And the frustration is no one has an answer. That is the frustrating part. No one has an answer. You can't find players. You can't find coaches. You can't find trades. Ain't nobody coming that's going to be healthy because the people that you need, they done. The tackle's done. The quarterback's done. Oh, the people are done. The good guys, the good free agents are gone. Players are settled into their teams. And no one has answers. And this boat is sinking so fast. Everyone is going into self-preservation. And the owner of the boat, right, whose name's on the side of the boat, when everyone's asking questions, they're saying, well, what happened to the boat? Because you were the maker of this boat. You were the proprietor of this boat. Can you explain to us why this boat, which was so on paper, like the Titanic, so well built, it's the next coming to the greatest thing ever built. Anti-sink.
Yes, sir.
Is now sinking. See,
anti-sink. Now I'm from the hood. Me and you from the hood. Anti-sink, not sinking.
Anti-sink. See, when you start questioning the maker of the ship,
yes,
and
sir,
it has no answers,
yes,
that's
sir,
when frustration sits in. You got it.
You think frustration's on him?
Oh, frustration is on him.
Kurt, do you think
he has no answer
on the big dog?
He has no answer. Well, when you have no answer in this situation,
I got one.
And everybody's watching you, and you have to hear the same thing, and every week you're hearing the same. Like, we can turn whatever the game is. We don't have to know the opponent. We can just press play, and I bet you the presser sounds the same from week 1 to week 7 or 8, whatever, and just keep pressing play, and it sounds the same. We gotta execute. We gotta no. If the questions are still coming the same each week, and the answers are the same, the still 6 weeks, and we're still getting the same results each week, that means we don't have answers. He does not have answers, and when you don't have answers, you result to frustration. And a part of frustration for Jerry and others is embarrassment. Because you're supposed to be this unsinkable ship. You're supposed to be this mighty yacht. You're supposed to be this grandioso of an establishment. But you look like the little paddle boat who just couldn't get it right. And when that happens, frustration and embarrassment comes in, and that's when guys begin to lash out.
Nate's got to answer. Nate's got to fix to all this. What is it, Nate?
Ain't about time to go to break.
Hold on, Nate. Hold on, Nate. If you got an answer, if you have an answer, let's hold on to your answer so we can monetize it. Because if you got the answers, we need to monetize this thing so that we can get paid and we can enhance our $10.
Me and Kurt came with the same answers yesterday.
I think
you got to let everybody jump off the ship. I'm serious. If you let everybody jump off the ship gonna rise up. Get all the luggage off. It's gonna rise up, and then you go and get them electric pumps that nobody thought you had, and pump that thing out, and you ease on into the harbor. Now you're gonna be blowing black smoke, but you ease on into the harbor, and you get rid of all that excess luggage, all that dead weight, and you start afresh. You patch the ship up. You get a new hull, and you do what you got to do. And then it's all right to be embarrassed that your big yacht got lambasted. You went into the foreign waters and you got blasted. It's okay. But now you're back on safe ground. And Kurt and myself yesterday had the right answers. Purge this ship. Purge it.
Sounds like they said and I think another thing Jerry said in his interview today was let me find that quote.
But see, they already talking about Shopper Everson Griffin.
He said we got to correct it. We'll change some personnel for sure. We just have to step in here and make adjustments. So and then there's like Nate said, there's rumors now that Everson Griffin's up on the trading block,
and many others,
and probably many others. So maybe they're starting to see that there was one other writer today that said because of the injuries, all that remains is an overwhelming group of guys who are either too young to know better or too old to care enough. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and that he may be right. I mean, a lot of these young guys are looking to the older guys for leadership, and maybe these older guys are just like, I'll get that paycheck.
I'm going to tell you, man, Jimmy, let the young guys take over. You have to it's all right. I ran to the wrong guy, but I ran to him wide open, Coach. It's all right. I'm telling you, this year is all right as long as you start to move towards the future. And I understand that we got 10 games left or however many games left, and I understand that we're going to win the division with 6 or 7 wins. That's fine. But do it with young guys.
Yeah. Don't
even fool yourself with these older guys coming into next year. When you go and have team meetings, which it ain't going to be no more clearing for no virus. So when you have team meetings this year, workouts this year, you want to say, golly, the Cowboys are young. The average age for them is 27. That's what you want to say. The oldest guy you want on your team is going to be Dak. And if you're older than that, you got to go. I'm just being honest, man. I'm telling you, I heard on the flagship station one of our compadres say, Mr. Jones don't want to do a rebuild. I'd rather do a rebuild and see promise than to be 8-8 every year and go down in flames. Just that was a great analogy that you gave, but I'm saying throw over all baggage, lighten the ship, get rid of all waste, let it rise up a couple of 100 feet, ease into the harbor, call the tugboats, let them ease you into the harbor, get and patch this thing up, call the best welders you got, and fix this big thing. And let's go back out with a fresh admiral. And I'm not talking about coaches. I'm talking about players.
So what you're saying, Nate, is kind of almost what you and Kurt are saying is almost in conjunction with what I kind of said yesterday, speaking to somebody who is very well respected, who's been in this league, who's been in that. This is a rebuild, and the thing about a rebuild is you would like for it to be on the quicker side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But a rebuild nonetheless will take you 2-3 years before you can cycle in enough players, whether that be young drafted guys or free agents or a combination of both, to get them all in sync and all gelling. So my question now to you is, if we come to that point, if we're bringing the ship into the harbor, we're calling all our welders, we're calling all the people to patch this thing up, and we're getting a new crew, what is the timeline that you are willing to comfortably give Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, and others to turn this thing around? Because this year's
a year and a half. Okay, we'll wait.
Hold your answer.
Shout
Hold
out
your
to-
answer.
Boy.
Hold your answer. We're going to go to break.
Miyagi.
We're
Yes,
going to go to
sir.
break.
we cooking today,
Miyagi,
baby.
baby.
Hold that thought.
Hey, baby.
Miyagi.
Let's pay some bills. I'm
I'm gonna rub that shoulder and break it out for you,
Hey,
Jess.
Before you, we're going to give you about 2.5 minutes to think about it, because once you take the genie out of the bottle, Nate, you can't put him back in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you
I
put
love
this
you,
out
Shannon.
there, we want you to be sure. So we're going to give you time to think about it. We'll go to break, and we'll be right
in the
back.
bottom, me and Kurt.
Nate's going to give you a timeline. He's going to fix this thing when we come back. on
Yes,
Hangin' with the
sir.
Boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again for Tailgating with the OtterBox Boys.
OtterBox, the company that builds wildly overprotective phone cases?
The one and only. But cases are just the start. OtterBox is the official outfitter of tailgating.
If they can keep my phone safe, what can they do for my parking lot party?
How about protecting your beverages from suboptimal drinking temperatures with their elevation tumblers? And OtterBox elevation tumblers come in 3 sizes: a 10-ouncer, a 20-ouncer, and even a 64-ounce growler.
Check out all the colors and sizes of their elevation tumblers at otterbox.com.
It's football season, and when you're tailgating with your friends and your family, you want the best meat on your grill. Pettigene Meats makes the best hot dogs, the Pettigene Griller, or the all-beef Franks will score. To complete that tailgate meal, Pettigene Meats has hickory smoked sausage, hot links, Polish sausage, and the best hickory smoked bacon and ham around. Available at your local retailer. And a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Pettigene Meats. Taste the difference.
We can't wait to see the Cowboys back on the field, and we can't wait to pack AT&T Stadium to watch them play. When that time comes, SeatGeek is the place to get all of your tickets. Plus, tickets to the hundreds of games, concerts, rodeos, and other live events we'll all be able to enjoy again soon. Every SeatGeek purchase is protected by a buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. SeatGeek. Let's go.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo quiero guacamole.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
So you have your special game watching sweats. That's adorable. How about you start to value yourself a little and experience the game in comfort without the nacho cheese stains? Upgrade to Tommy John Loungewear. You'll look better, feel better, and maybe claw back some of that old self-respect. Shop loungewear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. You get 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. All right, Jesse.
We need to get Nate. We need to get Nate a coffee read.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you here, man. Whether it's a name brand, off brand. A young boy once told me, said, Mr. Newton, a young old boy, about 15 at the time, Kevin Martin's son, he was visiting. And I made the coffee kind of strong. He said, Mr. Newton, I've learned over time. And this is a 15-year-old boy. You can never mess up coffee. It's always a way to fix it. A little cream here, a little sugar there. You can always fix coffee. I believe that.
How do you drink your coffee, Nate?
Then the bigger the lips, the better the smack.
How do you drink your coffee? Straight?
Sometimes I drink it straight. When I'm on the road, 1 and 2 in the morning, I drink it black with a little sugar. Then as the morning get in place, then I put a little cream on it. So when I go to the restroom, it won't be just too bad.
All right, Jesse. Restate your question, and then we will step aside and let Nate fix this thing for us.
And Kurt.
And Nate.
Oh, okay. So yesterday we talked about. I talked to someone who was very knowledgeable and close to this team, and said this team is about 3 or 4 years from a rebuild. And then today, Kurt and Nate, you guys are both saying the best way to fix this ship, SHIP, is to just start overhauling, get rid of the baggage, let guys go, and basically put this thing in the rebuild. So my question to you two, and Chris and Shannon, and to the many thousands and thousands of people listening, what is a reasonable? Because let's make no mistakes. And I think we all unanimously agree on this. This team is in a rebuild. It's time. Mm-hmm. It's in a rebuild. What is a comfortable timeline for Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, and those that they keep? What is a comfortable timeline to get this thing turned around? Now remember the fan base that you're dealing with.
As a fan, not as a player or a coach or an owner, but as a fan, what do you say? Okay, after X number of time, I need a championship or whatever.
Okay, allow me to walk you through this, and at any time, Kurt, you can interject since me and you partners in arms on this. Let me say this right here. It starts this year, this game, with the Eagles. You don't even worry about this year. Hard to do as a fan, but you don't worry about it. Whatever happens, happens. If you get in the playoffs, get knocked and beat down in the first round, that's cool. You still get a decent pick. If you blow it the rest of the way and don't win but 4 more games, you get an even greater pick. I'm not worried about that. Even though I would like to win, I'm not worried about that. But next year, that's the clock starts. You don't touch your offense unless you truly have to get draft picks. You don't touch your offense. You let that stay. Your defense,
even your $15 million running back, who's just the numbers say, every year he's been in the league, his numbers has declined, and this year he's at an all-time low.
Jesse, I knew you was waiting to say. No, listen to me now. Let me talk. I knew you were waiting to say that.
Tell me to shut up like Jerry told Sean to shut up. Tell me to shut up. Tell me to shut up. Tell me to shut up and listen.
I'm not going to do that.
Shut up,
I'm not going to do that.
Shut up and listen, Jesse.
This is, you heard me preference this, Kurt and Shannon. I said, do not touch that offense unless you truly can get you some draft picks. Don't touch it. And if somebody willing to get up a first, are they willing to give up a high second? Okay, then you look at maybe touching your offense. But that's the only saving grace we have. That's the only thing that Dak and the rest of these guys can do. Defensively is where you need to fix. And that's why I say you don't worry about this year. Play it out. But next year and 6 to 8 games into the following year, that's when you should see a tremendous difference and an upswing and an uptick. If you feel your quarterback, after this injury, if you feel your quarterback is your man, now that's a decision the upper management got to make, is your man, you will see that uptick. But you cannot, by no means, bring in another guy that's older than 29 years old to this defense. You cannot draft ever again guys with injuries and red flags all over themselves on defense. You have to go out and get quality guys at any position that's open. And then if your draft board open up next year, and let's say another CeeDee Lamb fall to you, you're going to have to be strong enough and say, you know what, not this year. We have nothing on defense. That is what's killing us. Now, besides Zeke, and I'm getting to Zeke, Zeke has hurt us tremendously with the turnovers. A lot of backs usually don't recover. Is he unique enough to recover? Well, we'll find out the rest of this year. But you're only fixing one thing, and that's your defense. So I'm talking about a year and a half, and I'm talking about from starting next year to 6 games the following year, 8 games. It's a year and a half fix, man. It's too many teams that have been fully ready on one side of the football, and they put their assets into the other side. 2 years ago, Pittsburgh was sitting in the same place where their offense was explosive and making things happen, and they needed a fix on defense. And through their draft and through going out and getting I know safety is a bad word, it's a plague-type word, and through getting them a safety, check the records. I'm serious. This is not a hard fix. Agree or disagree, Kurt?
Yeah, I think that it's possible to put if they start now, I think it's possible to put a good team on the field next year. If you've got a full offseason of McCarthy's program, if you've got obviously the injuries, you need guys to come back healthy, I think they can turn it around relatively quickly. I mean, the NFL has shown teams can go from, out of the playoffs to contending the next year. Where I kind of disagree some with Nate is to me, if I can get high draft picks, if I can get young players, I'm open for anybody. You got an offer to make me on an offensive player, I'm listening. I mean, if I can get rid of Zeke's contract, bring in a younger, I think it's well documented that, running backs can be pretty easily replaced and a young guy. I mean, the kid that Gibson ran all over us against Washington is a rookie this year. So, I mean, if I can get rid of his contract, I'm getting...
Dearness Johnson ran all over us.
Exactly.
In Cleveland.
And you think about it, I mean, we have...
still on the same page, fellas.
We're
still on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, we have 3 Pro Bowl caliber receivers, and that's a luxury that you would hate to give up. But how many teams in this league are having success with not near
like
that
Nate.
much talent? Yeah, exactly.
Like
So, I mean, would I hate to lose a Gallup? Michael Gallup, of course. I mean, he's an outstanding player. But if that brings me picks, if that brings me young guys that can help me out on defense, I mean, there's a lot of good teams out there that only have 1 good receiver, 1 all-star receiver, have maybe 2 all-star receivers. Cowboys have 3. I mean, that's pretty nice to have. But when you're so weak in so many other areas, you got to give some stuff up if you truly want to rebuild and make this overall team better.
Remember, this is the problem we were supposed to have solved, Jesse, the Beard, Chris, and Kurt. The problem we were supposed to have solved, just think, was we were supposed to have better coaching and a better defensive scheme. Am I correct? And special teams. We were supposed to have those problems solved or close to being solved this late into the season. Those problems still remain. Now, is it, and Jesse, I'm asking you this, and I'm going to be quiet. Is it the coaches or is it the players? Maybe I'm going down the wrong road. Maybe the players are all right, and we know we ain't talking about defensive line exempt. We know they're not right. I'm talking about the rest of the guys.
No, it's both. It's both. I do think when it comes, there's 2 parts that I always say when it comes to coaching. Mm-hmm. One, and I said this the other day, I said it jokingly, but I mean this. Like, Mike McCarthy hooked his boy up, and you know what I'm saying? He hooked the homie up. And the homie is costing them. The homie's not good. Like, you gave your homie the job. There's a reason why Mike Nolan wasn't a defensive coordinator in this league for the last 4 seasons. And the last time he was a defensive coordinator, his team finished just about where our defense is finishing. That's not by happenstance. Damn it, that's by what you put out on the field, right? And so he hooked his homie up, and we can just say, yo, listen, you hooked your homie up. We get it, right? The homie and all of us understand. You hooked your homie up. Most of us got our job because our homie hooked us up. You hooked us up. and your homie cost you. Now you got to fire your homie, right? The second thing is, and Nate, I think you and I will agree on this one, is if you brought a man in here to do something that he is supposed to be specialized at, let him do it. If you brought Mike McCarthy in here to be a specialized play caller, let him do it. Those two things right there, when it comes to coaching, well, I would say this is a coaching problem. But there's also a player problem. There are not good players on this football field, okay? Defensive line, linebackers, and secondary. And so there's a combination of both, and you have to address them. And with anything in life, when you're talking about business type situations, at times you're going to have to make the tough decisions. One being, you know what, I got to fire my homie. You know what I mean? He looked me out back in when he had his chance. I looked him out. He didn't live up to his end of the bargain. I got you the job, but you ain't doing what you got to do to get me to look good. So I got to let you go. And then I got to get players who understand that in cover 3, I have this third of the field that I can't be looking in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's a player issue.
Do you think that Gio, our man Gio, listens regularly? Thanks, Gio. He posed this question, which I wonder, this is one reason why I think we need to start this rebuild now, is that, you know, you got young rookies like Lamb and Diggs. Are they developing bad work habits now because they see, you know, the vets apparently have bad work habits? Is this kind of this, he calls it a bad apple syndrome, something we need to worry about for the future? I mean, they need to make these changes now if they're really serious about changing the culture, don't they?
You know what, Kurt? You're not going to get an argument from me or Jesse on that, man. Mm-hmm. It's just you've tied money up into these guys, man. But if you want to get better, and I can't tell, you know, money, I can't tell a man what to do with his money, but sometimes you have to take a loss. Sometimes you have to take a hit. Sometimes you just have to go out and get a player that's going to try hard. You know, like Young 79, I think I got him at Hamilton. The big Hamilton, it's 2 on the team. You know, I would tell him, man, son, you're going to get ready to play 60 snaps. You know, Antoine Woods, I need a strong 40 from you. Tyrone Crawford, give me your 35 plays. You know, and then the rest of the guys, we'll fit you in if we can. You know, it's about will and desire now, man. You know, you're sitting here with 2 free agents who everything we got we had to work through. Yes, coaches gave us breaks, put up with our lack of abilities in certain ways and certain times. The owner several times would save my bacon. You know, when a lot of times people like, get rid of the fat guy, he saved my bacon. But, you know, when it comes time, when it's you against the team or you next to the team, the player got to lose, man. The player got to lose because them 53 other guys got to be satisfied in knowing that that they can trust in you to do the best thing for the team.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, I have a question for you guys that is, in fact, I'll pose the question now, and then you tell me what you think when we come back from the break. You're talking about possibly about rebuilding. It needs to start now. You have a free agent quarterback after this year that we all think is the future of this franchise. If you go into rebuild mode now, does that affect the way that he makes decisions after the season? Does that make him more likely to sign here because he knows you're building around him, or does that make him less likely because he's in the prime of his career and he's going to lose valuable games, maybe a season, maybe 2 seasons, if you go into quote-unquote rebuild mode? I want to know what you guys think as former players on that. And Kurt, as not a former player, I would love to know your thoughts on that. Since we're talking about hypotheticals in this show today, which, you know, we normally don't deal in hypotheticals, but you guys took it down this road, so we'll continue down this road. When we come back,
yeah, but a hypothetical purge.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again for Tailgating with the OtterBox Boys.
OtterBox, the company that builds wildly overprotective phone cases?
The one and only. But cases are just the start. OtterBox is the official outfitter of tailgating.
If they can keep my phone safe, what can they do for my parking lot party?
How about protecting your beverages from suboptimal drinking temperatures with their elevation tumblers? And OtterBox elevation tumblers come in 3 sizes: a 10-ouncer, a 20-ouncer, and even a 64-ounce growler.
Check out all the colors and sizes of their elevation Elevation tumblers at otterbox.com.
It's football season, and when you're tailgating with your friends and your family, you want the best meat on your grill. Pettigene Meats makes the best hot dogs, the Pettigene Griller, or the all-beef Franks will score. To complete that tailgate meal, Pettigene Meats has hickory smoked sausage, hot links, Polish sausage, and the best hickory smoked bacon and ham around. Available at your local retailer. And a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Pettigene Meats. Taste the difference.
We can't wait to see the Cowboys back on the field, and we can't wait to pack AT&T Stadium to watch them play. When that time comes, SeatGeek is the place to get all of your tickets. Plus, tickets to the hundreds of games, concerts, rodeos, and other live events we'll all be able to enjoy again soon. Every SeatGeek purchase is protected by a buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. SeatGeek. Let's go.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Hey Cowboys fans, what better way to spend Thanksgiving than in a private suite at AT&T Stadium with your family and friends to watch the best game of the year? Head to DallasCowboys.com/hotels for a chance to win a private suite, a free night hotel stay, and a transportation to and from the game on a private Cowboys bus, all courtesy of Hotels.com. Go to DallasCowboys.com/hotels for your chance to win. And I just saw a meme, fellas, and this basically sums up the entire year of 2020. It says, we are officially in the fourth quarter of 2020. Man, I hope we're playing the Cowboys.
Oh.
That's where we're at. That's
the
where
Dallas Pharmaceuticals.
That's where we are officially
Stop,
at. All right, fellas. So back to my question. We're hypothetically talking about, you know, do you go into rebuild mode? When do you start? What do you do? How long does it take to get out of it? You've got your franchise quarterback that couldn't get a deal done this year. You got franchise tagged. Going into next year, if, let's just say hypothetically, you do go into rebuild mode, how does that affect his decision-making process with signing or re-signing with this team? As a player, Jesse and Nate, I'm interested, are you encouraged that you're getting pieces around you that you need to be successful, or are you, if you're him in the prime of your career, you look at it like, I'm losing valuable time by going through something like this?
Me and Jess talked about this a little bit yesterday.
I'm gonna be brief. I promise you, I'm gonna be brief.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
I promise you. I promise you. If you just be quiet, Shannon, and let me talk. No. 20 seconds. We've seen all that we need to see that Dak Prescott is not the issue on this football team, and if you don't want him at the leadership and the helm of your quarterback, then you are absolutely bugging. 2, if they franchise Dak, that is all I need to know as a player. You don't believe in me and you don't want me a part of this team, so let me go after this franchise year because I ain't signing with you. Go ahead, Nate.
We talked about this same thing yesterday, Jess. And I tell you like this right here, man. If this thing don't start with Dak, then the rebuild goes from a year and a half after this season to about 4 years, unless you go 2 and whatever and have a chance at these two young quarterbacks, and it's still going to take 3 or 4 more years. And don't tweet Jesse as a fan, because I don't respond to tweets. Don't tweet Jesse as a fan talking about it'd be better than that. Come on, man. You're going to cry and moan and groan and dog out the quarterback. We can get the kid from Clemson. It's still going to take him 3-4 years. This ain't North Texas he throwing against home, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, even though the NFC East is the Big South Conference.
No, I'm talking more. I'm talking more of Dak's point of view. Is he? If they go this way, does he want to be a part of this?
Shannon.
Yes.
I will say this again. This thing starts with Dak.
Yep.
If they franchise him, talking about we want to see what your ankle gonna be like, and give this kid a chance to get out of here. And say it's a Tennessee team that got their quarterback. Remember when they got their quarterback, everybody laughed? But Tennessee, all they was missing was a quarterback. Maybe it's a team out there, like a San Francisco, who just only thing they missing is that stud quarterback.
A Chicago.
A
New England.
Yeah, that's just missing their quarterback. Now, all of a sudden, Dak goes over there, and half the haters say good riddance, and half of us be like, well, we're going to wait and see because we've been burned enough. We're going to wait and see. And you don't go out and get the right guy to come in here and run this ship, then it ain't going to matter whether Mike McCarthy calling plays or who the defensive coordinator is, because you're not going to win. And it's going to go from a 1.5-year deal that me and Kurt has thoughtfully came up with to 4 years.
Yeah.
It's going to go to 4 years minimum.
The rebuild starts with Dak. They got to get him signed, and probably his price is only going up now. But I think even with that, I would think Dak is asking for a rebuild because he knows the offense is, we know the offense is good. It's tweaked. You can tweak it, whatever. He can't win with this defense. If they don't start rebuilding the defense, it doesn't matter what he does. He can't throw it 50 times a game and for 500 yards. So, if I'm Dak, I'm like, please fix this thing. Get it done. I'm out hurt, injured this year anyway. Go through the hard knocks this year. Start the process now. Let's get going for next year.
Hey, you know
nice,
what?
Kurt. Nice.
I'm going to take Jesse's analogy, and I'm going to get us some shirts made that we wear on this shirt.
Don't do that. We're not
fix
going
this
backwards.
ship.
No,
we're not going.
Fix this ship.
No, we're
Rich.
not going backwards. Fix this, Rich.
Fix this ship, Rich. Oh, speaking of, did you guys see where Dez signed with Baltimore to the practice squad?
I did, yeah. Congrats to him, man. Happy for him.
Good for him.
Do you think Dez going to understand what discipline is? Because the Ravens don't play.
He about to find out.
Do you get to see what it is late in your career to say, wow, I thought I was going to be a part of this team and do what was right. Now I have no other choice but to do what's right.
Jesse, one
we
more
signed
since you go ahead.
I was just we signed a punter to our practice squad. I mean, so
Stop, Kurt. Stop.
Yeah, what is up with
Stop,
that?
Kurt. Man, you just parted ways.
I mean,
actually, it's probably a pretty smart move with COVID, but it's sort of odd. Everybody's wanting all these moves made with defense, but we signed a punter, so probably
Jesse,
the right
we got about 2 minutes, and since you just dominated this show again today, we'll let you go out dominating.
Do your thing, Jess. Reverend Pastor Jesse.
David Moore wrote in the Dallas Morning News, this season has taken on the same dark tone that one did 10 years ago. The same sense of hopelessness hangs in the air, and that's the year that Wade Phillips was fired. Jesse, you were a part of that team. Does this feel similar to that to you, or is this just a totally different animal than it was when Wade was here?
And will Coach McCarthy's playbook get bigger after he gets taking the calling the plays?
You know what? It most definitely will, because he has a long line of plays that he knows in his head that he's worked with his whole life. So the playbook will get bigger. It will get more expansive. It will grow, but it does. And the thing that is similar to what we had back then that I see right now, these players don't care. They don't care. And it wasn't, and people always say, well, they don't want to play for the coach. They don't want to play for themselves. Like, they don't want to play for themselves. Like, that's the part that I never understand. People say, well, they don't want to play for themselves. They don't want to put the work in. They don't care. Their attitude. My check coming every Tuesday, whether y'all like it or not. And so they just don't care. And those are the kind of guys that you have when you have enough of them and they infiltrate your locker room. It's a cancer. And excuse me, Kurt, I don't want to use that term of someone who's actually, battled it and beat it. I don't want to be insensitive to you or anything like that. But it's something that gets inside of you and it begins to destroy the structure of who you are. And that's what's happening. It's players in this locker room who are destroying the structure of who this team is. And
Jesse,
it feels a lot like it.
Couldn't you use an analogy like it's like a bad case of gas, like it just gets in you and you just got to get it out? Like, why'd you have to go with the season?
I don't know. I felt bad.
Yo, man, stop, Shannon. You worse than him. Come on, man.
I'd be more offended about a fart joke.
Hey, I'm looking at y'all walls, man. Wow, that is great. Jesse, you opened the show up perfectly. And Shannon said yesterday that you would dominate this show too, and you did. And you opened the show up perfectly, and you closed it perfectly.
Jesse, you opened the show, you closed it, and you filled the middle in like an Oreo cookie. You just took the whole show and just made it yours. You cooked it up. Chef Jess, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? Tomorrow, I got a chef jacket. I'm putting on my chef jacket tomorrow.
Please.
And then Shannon at the end gave us that up in the balcony stand analogy we didn't need. Thank you, Shannon. Well, you can tell you hanging out in the stands by yourself at the game.
Oh, fellas, we can move on to the next game. Let's move on to the Eagles tomorrow. Yes. Cowboys offense.
Our offense, their defense, right?
It's going to be, you know what? Let's just talk about
the Ben DiNucci show.
How about that? The Nooch, let's bring
Park versus Ben DiNucci. Who will win?
Nate looking good. Kurt, good seeing you. Jesse, I like the jersey. Chris Beam, thanks for keeping us on the air. This has been another episode of Hanging with the Boys. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. See you then. Later.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!